back, everybody. I'm Brad.
I'm Steve.
Today we're doing the second tasting of the Apricot Mead.
Sure.
So this has 1 cup of dry apricots in it using the Fleshman's yeast.
Okay.
Water to the 1 gallon mark. 3 pounds of honey.
3 pounds of honey.
I will say, because it's taken us 10 minutes, make sure you label, because the color in these and 3 of them are pretty much identical, and we've spent the last 10 to 20 minutes trying to decide what's what.
Yeah. The best way to label these, if you're going to do it at home, is just take some painter's tape. I prefer the green because it's a little easier to write on and see. You just put green tape on there, the frog tape, and then just write with a magic marker of. I usually put the date, the beginning, the original gravity, and what it is.
Okay. Cool. So it's clear.
Yep. Looks good.
Smell. Now I have to say, it smells like cinnamon.
Yeah, it does.
And that's kind of what has us thrown off, is the apple cider, which we reviewed before, has the cinnamon stick and raisins in it. Then the apricot doesn't, but trust me, we tasted the apple and it's the apple. So
that's what got us started on this path. Wait, what is this?
But I smell total cinnamon.
Yeah.
I
mean, I can get a little of the apricot, but it's mostly cinnamon. And you did not put any cinnamon in here. There's never been any cross-contamination. I mean, this thing has just been full of apricots and honey.
Yep.
So I don't know how you got that.
There's a tiny bit of heat.
Not much, though.
But
it's good.
I'm getting cinnamon.
I'm getting cinnamon. There's a slight bit of fruit in there, though.
Yeah.
You can tell. I don't know where the cinnamon came from. It's kind of crazy to me that it would even taste like that.
Right. And again, that's why it took us so long, because there's not any cinnamon in there.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. But it is good.
Right.
I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's very good. It'd be interesting to see what the final gravity is on it.
Right. And I don't know. I doubt. The only way that I could tell, I think, is to make another batch of this and take it, then take a reading from this right now. Mm-hmm. Because, again, when I was doing this, it was just, hey, let's make 1 gallon batches of all this meat to see what we like. And that's what I did. I didn't worry about gravity. I did do the stepping of the yeast nutrients.
That's good.
Every day I put in the 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Sure.
Like you were making fun of me for having a teaspoon down here. That was an 1/8. But I did do that through all of them. That you guys have saw in other videos and videos to come. But to me, this tastes like it should have cinnamon in it.
Yeah. And if I had to gauge it, I'm going to say you're in a 10 plus range in alcohol. I'm guessing more like the 12, 13. It's good though. I mean, you could, I'm not a liquor person, right? But you could fill this glass up and I could call it a day.
Yeah.
And I'd drink that all day long. But no, it's good. I haven't made any myself. I've only had commercial versions of Mead. And, you don't have to make it as strong. You can make the ones like beer, almost carbonated, 5.5%. I mean, those are good too. But I really like this.
Yep. And, I mean, obviously it's not cheap, especially if you're going to buy a gallon, which I did from a local bee guy. But that gallon has made, 4 or 5 1-gallon batches, because I think a gallon is between 12 and 13 pounds. So if you're using in a 1 gallon 3 pounds, which I've used in every single one.
So you get about 4 gallons out of 1 gallon.
Yep. So, but I mean, if you're talking over 10%, you're not going to want, 5 gallons, 10 gallons of this. We have been talking. It would be fun to me to make a 5-gallon, but I'm guessing at that point you would probably bottle it like wine, you know, and let it sit and age and age and age until you know you're through 5 gallons.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's why I think we started this experiment. I know my intent was to do the same as you so we could have multiples, and I never got around to it. But I think we've got a good baseline as to what flavors we want to maybe make a 5-gallon batch out of.
Right.
So, and didn't you use different yeast per...
Yes, like the first 3 I did, I used the Fleshman's, you know, standard yeast. Then one, I think it was the cherry. I used USO5.
Okay.
Then for the pumpkin, I used the fast acting yeast.
Okay, so none of them really a wine yeast, though.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Not the LV or I think it's LV
and
118 or something like that.
Yeah, and those, when you read on Homebrew Talk, those are good, but they just take a lot longer to age out and get within a drinkable range of not being hot. These have been, you know, cooking for...
almost a year.
Has it been that long?
Half a year? 3/4 a year?
Didn't
somewhere
you get
around there.
The honey in the summer?
Yeah, I think so.
So half a year.
Half a year.
But still, these are drinkable, pretty much. Versus if we went with a wine yeast, maybe we wouldn't even be close to scratching the surface. But it'd be interesting, and I think that's maybe something we'll do later down the road now that we've got some 1-gallon test jugs is, okay, we picked a flavor we like, let's go with that flavor, make a 5-gallon batch, and then let's also make a small batch and use some of these yeasts that take a lot longer to mature, and see flavor-wise, is it worth the wait? Right?
Yep. But we also don't know, like we saw with most of these, they've went up and down. Some of them, the first time we tasted them, after 2 months or so, some were hot, some were good, and now it's almost changed. Like, some are good, some are bad, but before, the good ones were bad. So,
bad ones were good. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's as finicky as a wine is, right? Where you have, like, you know, white you can drink pretty much right away. A red, you gotta wait a couple of years and invest some time. And I guarantee if all of these, you know, they're all up and down like this, if you just took a time chart and said, hey, screw it, we're gonna wait 2 years, they probably all just
be the
fill
same.
right in the same line.
Cool. Well, let us know what you guys, have you guys ever tried anything like this? If you've used apricots and something.
Did you get any cinnamon?
Yeah, did you get cinnamon? Because we're definitely getting cinnamon.
Yeah.
But until next time, I'm Brad.
I'm Steve.
Happy brewing.
See you next time.